A warning has been issued concerning the U.S. economy. The speaker emphasized the urgency of taking action, stating, "We need to address the situation and revitalize our country, or we will face a severe problem. This goes beyond a mere recession. We could be headed for a depression." While these remarks were already concerning, former President Trump also expressed doubt about the accuracy of the reported inflation numbers. He reiterated his long-held belief, shared by many economists, that the inflation situation is worse than officially acknowledged. Trump stated that the current inflation rate of 9.1% is the highest seen in 47 years. But he hopes the upcoming August report will show improvement. Although Trump's prediction about a depression may be seen as an exaggeration, numerous economists believe that the U.S. is now in a recession, marked by 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. Phil Magnus, a researcher at the American Institute of Economic Research, found himself fact-checked by Facebook for his assertion that the country is in a recession. Facebook rated his post as partly false, stating that the White House had not changed the definition of a recession. Frustrated, Phil responded, "We live in a dystopian reality where Facebook fact-checks those who question the White House's manipulation of recession terminology." He highlighted that even a professional economist from a reputable institution like the American Institute of Economic Research could be dismissed by fact-checkers earning a modest wage. This incident sheds light on Facebook's recent trend of suppressing dissenting opinions on the U.S. economy. It's disheartening to witness a social media platform blocking individuals from expressing their own viewpoints. Senators Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin expressed concern over the potential failure of their proposed inflation reduction bill, which involves $670 billion in new spending. The bill allocates $64 billion to healthcare, $369 billion to clean energy, $300 billion toward national debt reduction, and various other programs. However, there are doubts about whether Senator Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona will support the bill. Some believe that her opposition could expose underlying issues regarding tax increases on corporations, which may result in further economic slowdown and job losses. Republican Senator John Barrasso admires Sinema's strong resolve in standing her ground. Despite the current circumstances, Senator Manchin intends to hold private discussions with Kyrsten Sinema to discuss the way forward. Presently, they require the support of all 50 Democrats in Washington, D.C., for the bill to pass. The proposed legislation, known as the Inflation Reduction Bill, appears to have a misleading name as it does little to alleviate inflationary pressures. It fails to address the rising costs of gas, oil, food, and grocery bills. It seems to be a matter of semantics, but only time will tell if it genuinely combats inflation. If it does, I will humbly offer my apologies. On another note, former President Donald Trump has sent a notice to CNN's lawyers, indicating his intention to sue them for defaming his character. The 282-page legal brief reportedly highlights instances where CNN engaged in excessive criticism of the former president. Trump asserts that this has harmed his reputation and plans to seek damages from the network. Whether this legal action yields any significant outcomes remains to be seen. Notably, the letter implies that Trump genuinely believes the election was stolen from him, and accuses CNN of crossing ethical boundaries by employing deceptive tactics. It references material from Project Veritas, where top executives purportedly admitted to deliberately undermining Trump on air to influence the election. The unfolding events will determine the course of this legal battle. What are your thoughts? Do you think this will amount to anything, or will it be inconsequential? Moving on to CNN, today their parent company announced upcoming large-scale layoffs in an effort to maintain the company's financial stability and strategic direction. As you may know, they invested $300 million into CNN+, which experienced a rapid decline within just 30 days. Furthermore, CNN has witnessed a staggering 90% decrease in viewership since the beginning of 2021, with the most significant drop among the demographic that advertisers target, individuals in my age group. Consequently, they are losing substantial revenue from sponsorships and advertising. It seems like history repeating itself. In a surprising turn of events, President Biden, who is fully vaccinated, has contracted COVID-19 once again, despite using Pfizer's antiviral medication, Placovid. Wishing the president a speedy recovery. It seems like I just reported on a similar incident. In another instance of deja vu, President Biden has announced his decision to allocate an additional $550 million of taxpayer money and military equipment to Ukraine this week. Monkeypox cases are on the rise in New York City and San Francisco, with New York declaring a state of emergency. Although San Francisco seems less concerned, as they advised residents to cover their bumps with Band-Aids. However, New York perceives the situation as significant. Tensions escalate as Taiwan broadcasters report Nancy Pelosi's expected arrival in Taiwan late Tuesday night. This confirmation marks one of the few times we have concrete information about her itinerary in Asian countries, with Taiwan as her final destination. Some warn that this could be the perfect storm to trigger World War III. China currently holds a significant advantage at sea and has been moving military forces into the region in preparation for Pelosi's arrival. Hopefully, this won't become the catalyst for a major conflict between the United States and China. Nonetheless, some argue that China would initiate an attack regardless of the circumstances. Speaking of Taiwan, Pelosi's visit there may give China the perceived permission and courage to attack the island. While Pelosi might intend to demonstrate America's support for Taiwan and corner China, it remains unclear what her true intentions are and adds to the escalating tensions surrounding the situation. Meanwhile, Putin's Russia may officially be at war with Ukraine, but they are also involved in two other conflicts that could have significant implications for your financial well-being and retirement. NATO is engaged in what is known as a proxy war with Russia, avoiding an official declaration of war but imposing sanctions on Russian leaders and billionaires. Additionally, billions of dollars in cash and military equipment have been sent to Ukraine, funded by taxes and future taxes levied on NATO member citizens. However, these sanctions have largely backfired, with U.S. economists admitting that they are hurting the United States more than they are affecting Russia. Putin and Russia have taken a surprising turn by demanding that all gas, oil, food, and essential commodities, including minerals and metals, be purchased using gold or the Russian ruble. Contrary to expectations that the ruble would plummet and cripple Russia, the country has instead gained more power and the value of their currency has increased. This is because Russia holds control over the world's food and fuel supply. Currently, over 40% of the European Union relies on Russia for fuel, and their energy costs are skyrocketing. The European countries are struggling to keep up with the escalating prices. This situation may also impact the United States as many countries are considering a return to coal and nuclear power to meet their heating, water, and energy needs. In a concerning statement, Putin recently declared that this war against globalization and the West has only just begun. He is collaborating with Iran and Turkey to push the United States out of the Syrian oil fields, cooperating with Saudi Arabia to decrease oil deliveries to the U.S., and partnering with China and India to provide them with inexpensive oil. Governments worldwide have expressed their commitment to green energy agendas in recent weeks. However, they also need to ensure affordable energy supply for their citizens, as any shortcomings may incite rebellions. Although my video showcasing some of these uprisings was flagged and demonetized, I believe uranium and nuclear energy will play a significant role in addressing this issue. The implications of this energy crisis will likely extend across the Atlantic to the United States, just as the U.S. has altered the definition of a recession to suit its own interests. Recently, many countries in the European Union have reclassified nuclear energy as clean or green energy, and rightfully so. It is one of the cleanest energy sources available on our planet. In 1996, nuclear energy accounted for 18% of the world's energy production, but now it has dropped to barely 10%. While most of Europe is grappling with soaring energy prices, France remains relatively calm and stable due to the fact that 70% of their electricity is generated by nuclear power plants. In September of last year, I mentioned Uranium Energy Corporation, and it subsequently experienced a remarkable surge of 83%. Many of you were able to profit from the opportune timing of buying and selling this uranium stock. However, the stock market experienced some jitters before Christmas, causing the stock to decline along with several others. It became a bargain, but some hesitated to make a purchase. Yet, earlier this year, I highlighted the stock once again in late February, and it witnessed an even higher surge, reaching a 93% increase. Subsequently, the Russia-Ukraine conflict occurred, causing market uncertainty and a subsequent decline. Nevertheless, it appears that the stock is once again on an